If you see the slide, this is a skull. Okay, this is a skull. Skull is resting on the which vertebra, whether it is cervical or whether it is thoracic vertebra. Skull is resting on which vertebra? Come on, tell me. Cervical, very good. How many cervical in number? I need answer to be very quick. How many cervical vertebrae? 7, very good. Now,
7.
the skull is resting on the first cervical vertebra or the last cervical vertebra? The skull is resting on the first cervical or the last cervical vertebra? First. So that first cervical vertebra is called atlas. Clear? The second cervical vertebra is called axis. These are the specific name given to cervical vertebra. The first one is atlas. The second one is axis. Is that point clear? Next. Now, skull is resting on atlas. Atlas is resting on axis. Very important question. First cervical vertebra is called dash. The second cervical vertebra is dash. Very important. The names you should remember. No confusion between the atlas and axis. Please do remember. Now, the connection. The posterior skull is occipital. Occipital bone. The posterior skull bone is occipital bone. In that occipital bone, there are condyles. Do you remember? How many condyles does the human skull has?
2.
Very good. So we are dicondylic, right? 2 condyles. Dicondylics. These 2 condyles rest on first cervical. Which is the first cervical vertebra? Which is the first cervical vertebra? Atlas. So the joint between the condyle and that is occipital. Okay, this is the condyle and the atlas is that joint is called alento-occipital joint. The first joint is called alento-occipital joint. This joint is alento-occipital joint. Now this atlas is resting on the next vertebra, that is axis. That joint, this is called alento-axial joint. Are you getting the point? Very, very important. 100% question from here. Please do write down.
Ma'am, what should be right?
The connection between this, okay, you can write down this. You all have understood this part? Have you all understood this part? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
मैंने नहीं भेजा है, I'll send you now. And the class, I'll send you now. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll send it. Okay, because they were asking the one which is completed. Hello? Yeah. Did you understood the concept, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now write down this. Please write down. See, Mount Litra School, I have to send the portion that is completed. Okay, so I'm including skeletal system also because it will hardly take some one more period to complete. Is it clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So remaining only one chapter will be there, that is chemical coordination and integration, and some part of neural, that is eye and ear. We'll complete that. Okay, fine.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, tell me. Yes.
Ma'am, according to the timetable on Friday, we have classes, but are there
No,
any
no.
classes?
See, listen to this. According to the timetable, Mount Litra will be having the classes, but ESIP School of Excellence will not have classes. They will be, and ESIP students do not have to worry about the classes. Will complete the portion after your exams. But Mount Litra schools will be having the classes. Fine. Is it clear to all?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Done? Are you all done? So, vertebral column has a set. So, C7. C7 is 7 cervical. T is thoracic, which is 12. L is 5, which is lumbar. S is 5. CD is 5. Coccyx. CD is coccyx. But this 5, sorry, 4. This 5 is fused to form 1. This 4 is fused to form 1 in the adult. Did you got the point? So the vertebral column, for the vertebral formula can be this. If there's an option, this is also right option. If there is an option, this is also a right option. If they have given you both, then please do mark for this. Yes, everyone. See, Janil. Cervical is okay. We'll come back. I hope you have done with this. See here. If you see this, everybody look this diagram of vertebral column. Cervical is 7, thoracic is 12, lumbar is 5. Done. Sacrum, if you see here, it is 5. Coccyx, if you see, coccyx will be 4. Fine. This sacrum 5, coccyx 4 in embryo. In adult, this sacrum of 5 is fused to form 1. Coccyx 4 is fused to form 1. So the sacrum will become 1 and coccyx will become 1 in adult. In embryo, they are 5 and 4. Point is clear to all. Here it is individual. Here it is just 1 together. Understood, Janelle? So did you all understood C1 atlas? Now, what do you mean by S bone? When you say yes, okay, when I tell you to say yes, say no. Do the action. Do you move your neck upward and downward or sidewise? When I tell you to say, when I tell you to say yes, you when you're nodding your head, will you move it upward and downward or sideways? Quick. Upward and downward. That movement is due to occipital, alento-occipital joint. So that movement is due to C1, that is atlas. So that is called S bone. When you say no, you move it sideways, right? That is called no movement, and that is due to alento-axial joint. Point is clear to all? Point is clear to all? Next point, please write down. Cervical vertebra is the smallest vertebra. Cervical is smallest vertebra. Now, next is lumbar vertebra is the longest, strongest. Sorry, not longest, it is largest. Lumbar is largest, strongest, heaviest vertebra. This is weight bearing vertebra. Done. About the lumbar, it's the largest, heaviest, weight bearing, and the strongest vertebra. Next, sacrum. Sacrum is, it is wider in female, as compared to male. Coccyx, vestigial, it's a tailbone. Vestigial, sorry, in human. Vestigial in human. Please write down this.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Done? Is it done? Next. Next, we'll be talking about the appendicular skeletal. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute to revise. Everybody revise about eggshell skeletal system. Quick. Are you all there? Yes, everyone. Okay, what is vestigial? Because vestigial is a reduce. In lower animals, they have tail. So they call
Ma'am.
this comics. Yeah.
Ma'am, could you please go to the previous slide?
See, in lower animals, there is a what? Tailbone. That tailbone extends into tail. But this in human being, this is reduced. So it is said to be vestigial. We do not use that bone. Did you got the point? Somebody, Sania.
Yes, ma'am.
Others, is it done? Done. Appendicular skeletal. Any doubts to anybody there? Can you move to the next? Appendicular skeletal is how many? 126 is number. Baba, I asked you a question. Do you have any doubts? Can you all hear me? Answer need to be quick. No doubt? Okay, fine. Next. Appendicular skeletal is 126 bones in number. That is a girdle bone and limb bone. The girdle bone means shoulder bone and hip girdle, and then limbs, upper arms and lower arms. Limbs is about 60, both the arms are of 60 bones. So altogether, lowers are 60 bones and the upper is 60. That's 120. And then pectoral girdle, that is shoulder girdles, which are 4, 2 on each side, and the hip girdle is 1 on each side. So they are Altogether 126 bones. Please do write down this. Point clear? Is everything done? Can we discuss the next point? Okay. Next. You see the shoulder girdles. Can you see the shoulder girdles? Can you see the pelvic girdles and the lower girdles? Lower limbs and the upper limbs. This is about the appendicular skeletal. Please, this image clearly shows you what I am talking about. Done? Next. Pectoral girdle is formed of two halves. If you see this pectoral girdle, one is formed of two halves. One is the front one, other is the back side. So one half and two half. Pectoral girdle is made up of two. Each half of the pectoral girdle consists of two bones. One is scapula, other is clavicle. What is scapula? Scapula is a triangular flat bone. Backside, the butterfly bone. If you see here, if see here, just a minute. Can you see this? The backside butterfly bone. This is a backside. I'm talking about the backside. When you lift your hand or something, there's a triangular butterfly bone which comes. That is called a scapula on the dorsal surface, not on the ventral surface. On the ventral surface, what is there? Which bones are present on the ventral surface of the body? The answer need to be quick. Which bones are present on the ventral? Ribs. Very good. So backside, there's a butterfly or the triangular shape structure called scapula. You can touch. Take your left hand and touch on the scapula. You will get that bone, flat bone. You will get that bone. Take your left hand, touch on the right scapula. Everybody, you will feel that bone. That is a triangular flat bone. Then you have a clavicle. Do you remember clavicle notch? Where is the clavicle notch present? Next question, quick. Answer need to be quick. Where is the clavicle notch present? Baba, remember clavicle notch? Manubrium of sternum. Yes. Manubrium of sternum is the clavicle notch present. So the clavicle bone is called collar bone. It is a S-shaped bone. S-shaped bone attached to the scapula on one side. One side, you know, it is attaching to the sternum. On the other side, it is attaching to scapula. So how? Look here. This is scapula. This is a clavicle. Clavicle is a S-shaped bone. One side it is attaching to scapula. Can you see there is attachment? Here it is attaching to sternum. This is sternum, manubrium. Is it clear? Everybody, did you understood which bone is a clavicle bone? On the clavicle bone is on the ventral side or the dorsal side? Who will answer this? Clavicle bone is on the ventral or the dorsal side?
Dorsal.
Scapula is a dorsal or ventral? Yes, very good. Only yes, I've understood this. Scapula is dorsal or ventral? Rishikesh, very good. What about scapula? Come on. Scapula is present dorsal. Yes, very good. So when you take your left hand, put it on the back side, that bone is called scapula. Somebody told me the clavicle is on dorsal side. If the clavicle is dorsal side, what is present on the scapula? Where is scapula present? I'm telling you, it's a flat triangular plate which is found on the dorsal side. There is no place. Clavicle is the bone which is present. See, just touch your neck, everyone. Touch your neck. When you come down, which bone you find? You find both the side, right and left. You find one bone, right? Which is going to your shoulder. When you touch your neck and keep coming from the neck on the shoulder, you will find one bone that is going towards the girdles. It is going toward the forelimb hand. Do you agree with me? That is clavicle. So where is clavicle present? Now tell me. See, I cannot get answer from most of them. I think I'll log out the class. Are you here to answer me or no? I don't want answer from 1 or 2%. If this is the case, I'm going to cancel this class. And I'm serious about this. I want my student to interact and give me answer when I'm asking you question. I cannot repeat the question again and again. So, do you all agree it's on the ventral side? So, did you all got the various clavicle? Did you all found your clavicles? Did you touch the clavicle bone? Okay, fine. Next. So, please write down this. Please write it down. Yes, yes. Kathy. Done, everyone. Let's move to the next topic. Then we are talking about the bones of the forelimbs. Forelimbs is of 30 bones. 30 bones. Okay, so you have 30, 30, 60, and upper 30, 30, 60. 120 bones. Clear? Clear. Each limb is of 30 bones. Each limb is about 30 bone. The first limb is humerus. Humerus is a single bone. Humerus is a single bone. After the shoulder, in your hand, the upper bone. Okay, please feel that upper bone. I'm talking about that bone. This is the humerus. The humerus is a head of the humerus bone articulates with the clinoid cavity. Now listen. Very, very important. Now, if this is the bone, scapula and clavicle will form this scapula, right? And the clavicle. This cavity here, it's a glenoid cavity. And this is humerus, which is a bone. And here, this is the head of the humerus. So you have a single bone. It's a single bone. Head of the humerus bone articulates, means joins with a glenoid cavity forming of the scapula to form a shoulder joint. Heard about the shoulder joint? So the shoulder joint is between the head of humerus bone and the clinoid cavity. Clear? First you write down this diagram and draw this diagram. Can you all see this diagram? Take your time, understand this, and please draw. Hello? Yeah. हाँ या हाँ मैंने ऑलरेडी भेज दिया है ग्रुप में ना 2-3 दिन पहले भेज दिया था नहीं यार I just sent last week what happened doesn't have हाँ I'll send it to you can forward it to them okay can you all see please draw this diagram उसे फोन नट्टा आंटी को फोन करके बोल दो to be done?
Just a minute.
Excuse me, ma'am. Yes. Ma'am, what is above that red part? Above the red part? There is no red here. Radius, thumbs towards? No, ma'am. On the right. The circle thing. Olecranon? You're talking about fossa? Yes, ma'am. Olecranon, olecranon fossa, articulates with olecranon process of ulna, forms the elbow joint. I'll explain you. Just write down this. Hello. Ma'am, just find out from how they're maintaining the roll numbers from any other. Yeah, how they're maintaining the roll numbers from any other. Is that how do they write? No, do they mention the years also? Do they mention the years? Just talk to your sister and get back to me, no? Okay. Acha, okay. There's nothing, year is not mentioned, right? Number of what? Number of students. Yeah, that's what. That's what. So it's like a okay, fine. Yeah. Done, everyone? Ma'am, about the serial number, it should be a 3-digit number, or should we need to mention the year? Okay. Okay, if we need to include, okay, he was saying nothing about that 2-digit or 3-digit, right? Okay, we can go for 0. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, let's yeah, fine. Thank you. Yeah, done, everyone. Okay, I'll spell, and when I'm writing, when I'm explaining, you can write down your names. Is it clear? Yes, everyone. When I'm explaining, you can just add up to the spellings. Okay, now listen to me. See, we have discussed about the scapula, right? It's a flat bone. Now, the clavicle will join the scapula to acromion of scapula. Scapula has 2 regions. One is a coracoid region and the other is acromion. Acromion to which the clavicle joins. Done, over. Now, humerus is a single bone which is having a deltoid ridge. Deltoid ridge means to which muscles are attached. It's kind of a ridge to which muscles are attached. Okay. Next, humerus head fits into scapula at a clinoid cavity which forms a shoulder joint, a very important joint. That joint is called ball socket joint. Why ball socket? You have ball, which is a head of the humor, and there is a socket, so which is a clavicle socket, and this forms the ball socket joint. Did you understood what do you mean by ball socket joint? Okay, next. This humerus has a fossa. This at this end, this humerus has a fossa. Fossa means a cavity. This cavity or the fossa is called olecranon. Olecranon fossa. Which olecranon fossa? This is about the humerus. After that, we are coming to the lower arm, I mean the upper arm only, but the lower side, where you have two bones. One is radius, other is ulna. You have studied about we are coming below the elbow joint now. In that region, you have two bones. One is radius, other is ulna. Radius is towards the thumb, okay, where your thumb is going. That direction you have radius. On the other side is ulna. This ulna has a process called olecranon process. So, if this is ulna, let me draw. If this is ulna, this is ulna. Ulna has a process called olecranon process. This olecranon process fits into olecranon fossa. Done. This forms the elbow joint. Very important question. Now tell me, does radius participate in forming the elbow joint? Yes or no? Very important question. Does radius participate in forming a elbow joint? Very good, Yash. I don't want Yash to be the first person to answer. Yash or Rishikesh, they only keep answering. I want each and everybody to answer there. I know the network might be slow at some point. I'm not blaming anyone there. But I want my students to answer. Because I love you all. I want you all to get the good marks. Okay. So it is radius will not form any kind of joint with humerus or with forming the elbow joint, which is a very important question. This joint is called hinge joint. Hinge joint is kind of when you open the door from one side, you can bend your elbow joint only towards you. Can you bend your hand towards other side? No. You can bend your hand only towards you. That is called hinge joint. Next. After that, continues into 8 digitals called 8 carpal. 8 carpals are showing a gliding joints which glides over each other. 8 carpals continues to 5 metacarpals. This pencil ones are 5 metacarpals. This forming a palm now. This is all forming what? Palm. Then 5 metacarpals join 2 fingers. Those are called phalanges. Phalanges are 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, which is equal to 14. So this all are joined by hinge joint. Can you see this? So 8 carpal, 5 metacarpal, and you have phalanges, which is 14 in number. Now write down and do let me know if you have any doubts. Everyone. Do it quickly. phalanges are joints of fingers. So you have 2 in thumb, other rest you have 3. Yeah, but I'm not received the body's report certification. Body fluids. See, send me paper of PSIP where we have given body fluids. I'm like, hello? Ma'am, send me body fluids chapter. The body fluids test paper. Only body fluids. Hello? Darwin test exam. हाँ डाविंस और ESIP yes डाविंस and ESIP का body fluids का पीछे और एडिस का only body fluids okay are you all done below the scapula second to seventh rib the scapula from the back side the position of scapula from the back side covers from second to seventh rib is it clear any more doubts to anybody there phalanges you know metacarpals you know carpals final joints see first okay let me tell you ball and socket joint is shoulder joint okay hinge joint is knee joint okay gliding joint is between the carpals is where the wrist is carpal okay carpal 8 carpals are found in the wrist region which is a gliding joint from wrist to the metacarpal we are coming to your palm between that there is a saddle joint from the metacarpal or the palm to your fingers, that is called ellipsoid joint. In the fingers, between the phalanges, that is called hinge joint. Do you want me to repeat, Ash? Done, everybody? Any doubts for today's class? Each and everybody in the class, we are just left with one more. We're just left with pelvic girdle and legs. So with this, will be finishing the chapter in the next class. All clear? Can we wind up for today's session? You're welcome. Bye-bye. Take care. See you all in the next class. And all the best for your preparations. So remember, ESIP, School of Excellence, all the best for your exams. ESIP, Mount Litera, please attend your classes without fail. I hope you got this rightly.